Hi, and welcome to our Pocket Talk here at the Virtual IGEM 2020. I am Jikwan, I'm the co-founder of IDEA, and today I'm here to share with you our work developing rapid portable detectors for distinguishing biodegradable plastics. But first, a bit about us. IDEA Solutions are a startup founded a little over a year ago now with a vision to use our expertise in analytics and spectroscopy to help develop innovative solutions for society's problems. Our founders are all engineers and scientists, and we want to simplify complex technologies so that it can be easy and used by everyone. Where do we start? In 2018, the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change launched Malaysia's roadmap towards Zero Single-Use Plastics 2018. This was a big step for Malaysia to stop being the world's dumping ground of plastic waste and lead to Malaysia to a greener future. Within this roadmap, the ministry understood that policies and standards alone would not be sufficient to drive the needed change. The first step taken was to getting the Serum Eco 001 standard updated in line with global best practices, such that only compostable materials such as PLA and starch-based are certified as biodegradable and compostable plastics. But how do you ensure that all businesses follow this? And more importantly, do you know if a plastic bag is actually made of a compostable material? Touch and feel alone is not good enough to prove the type of material. Therefore, there is a need for a rapid testing kit for enforcement, and this requirement was included in the roadmap, and a call for proposal was released inviting private and academic institutions to develop such a device. So, having seen the call for proposal and Mestec's roadmap, we felt this was right in line with our expertise, so we proposed to Mestec to develop this enforcement tool with the following design criteria. The sample measurement must be chemically specific and non-destructive for evidence to be collected. The analysis and results must be fast and decisive, better still, on the spot so enforcement action can be taken immediately. The device needed to be user-friendly. That means there should not be any sample preparation required and be able to be used by anyone with basic training. And of course, the device should be economically priced. Fast forward to today and we have our BP10 Rapid Portable Bioplastics Detector as shown here on the screen. This portable device is battery operated and takes just 1 minute to complete a sample analysis. Using infrared spectroscopy, it measures the specific chemical composition of the plastic bag and matches it with our database to identify the exact biodegradable plastic type it is. There's no sample preparation needed. Just clamp the plastic bag onto the sensor and a minute later the software will give you the results. So our design objective for non-destructive chemical composition specific tests that does not require sample preparation were all achieved. Furthermore, because there's no sample preparation required, the more samples you take, the lower the cost per sample will be. So how does it work? Let me take a minute here to explain the basics of how infrared spectroscopy works. First of all, in simple terms, spectroscopy is a study of how light interacts with matter. Each matter gives a unique result which allows us to identify the chemical compositions. The diagram on the left is a quick overview of the mode of spectroscopy we have employed with BP10 Rapid Portable Bioplastics Detector. There's an infrared light source, the crystal, also known as the sensor surface, and the infrared detector. The sample plastic bag or film is placed on top of the crystal and the clamp presses down to give good contact of the film with the sensor. Once the clamp is in place and the infrared light is shined from the source through the crystal, where it bounces around and interacts with the sample and then enters into the infrared detector on the right. Some of this infrared light is absorbed by the sample film and the detector measures how much light is absorbed by the sample. The output of the detector is an infrared spectrum, which is a plot of absorbance versus frequency. Here is the spectrum of a polyethylene in green and with two other compostable bioplastics in orange and blue. As you can see, the spectra for each is very unique and easily distinguishable the material composition of the sample bag or film. What makes our BP10 Rapid Portable Bioplastic Detector such an effective tool for enforcement is the software system built around the device. From the device, the user or the enforcement officer is able to get the results immediately, but let's say he has some doubt about the measurement results. He can immediately sync the data to the cloud database, where an expert in the lab is able to look at the same measured data and provide real-time support to the enforcement officer. And of course, for each measurement done, an incident report is generated for record-keeping purposes. Now that I've introduced to you our BP10 Rapid Portable Bioplastics Detector, I wanted to take a few minutes to share with you as well as a survey we did at the start of this year, of course before the MCOs came into effect, where we went around the country to find out how widely adopted is a CVIM certified biodegradable and compostable plastic bags. To start, we have to understand what are the plastic bag policies in place by the federal and state governments. Since 2017, Kuala Lumpur and other federal territories have made biodegradable and compostable plastic products mandatory. Similarly, Malacca State had implemented biodegradable and compostable plastic products since 2016. On the other hand, Johor State had mandated also biodegradable plastic bags to be used since 2017. Important point to note that since 2018, OXO biodegradable plastic bags, or should I say OXO degradable plastic bags, is no longer a CVIM Eco 001 certified bioplastic. This is in line with EU regulations which have taken the stance that OXO degradable plastics actually causes the formation of microplastics and does not reduce the harm to the environment. So, as we went across the west coast of Peninsular Malaysia to acquire plastic bag samples from hypermarkets and supermarkets, large chain stores and also large chain F&B outlets, all of these were targeted because these were the same business premises that Mestec had identified to lead the change from conventional polyethylene or PE plastic bags to CVIM certified compostable bags. What we found was that except for KL and Putrajaya, which was fall under the federal government, none of the other states or regions had transitioned much towards CVIM certified biodegradable and compostable bags. And in fact, what you did see was quite a few cases where the shop had imposed a fee for supposedly biodegradable plastic bags, but examining the plastic bag itself, we found there was nothing biodegradable about it, much more any sort of CVIM certification. So, if you would like to know more about what we found, we have worked with our partners Narrative to create an interactive data story which sheds more light on adoption of biodegradable and compostable plastics by state. We also broke down by manufacturer of the bioplastics and the business types we visited. To know more, visit this Narrative site at www.narrative.com/dashboard/biodegradable plastic bags. Finally, I'm coming to the end of my pocket talk at Virtual IGEM 2020. Thanks for listening to the end if you're still here. Before I sign off, I just want to highlight once more the key features of our BP10 Rapid Portable Bioplastics Detector. It measures the exact chemical composition of the sample without destroying the sample. The measurement is quick and the results are immediate. And there's a full software system built for the detector that makes it an ideal tool for enforcement, authentication for various parties in the supply chain, or even as a QC tool for qualification in the manufacturing process. Thanks once again for taking the time to listen to my pocket talk. Please visit our booth under the Startup Pavilion where you can find out more about our second product, the LA20 Alcohol Hand Sanitizer Tester. You might learn something about hand sanitizers that you didn't know before, quite scary, and if you want to speak to someone, please email us at info@ideasolutions.com with your contact details and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks and bye. Enjoy the Virtual IGEM 2020.